Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to be talking about how to get fast reaction time while sprinting. But before I actually get into the video, I think it's worth noting that there's no point in focusing on a reaction time, or trying to get your reaction time faster if you haven't met a few certain criteria, purely because most likely your reaction time's around 0.2 but quite slow. So it's like the slowest ever recorded, I believe, was like 0.285. So if you had a reaction time that slow, the fastest you could get your reaction time would be to chop off 0.185, give or take. Meaning, regardless of what time you have for the 100 to 200 or 400 meter, at best you're taking off almost 0.2 seconds off of your times. 100 meters quite a bit. 200 is quite manageable. It's a decent amount, but for 400 it's basically most likely nothing. But regardless of whether it's for 100, 200 or 400, your reaction time, improving it is quite pointless unless you're like running extremely fast hundreds. Like, I mean, I'm talking times that are like close to 10 flat or faster. And this is the same for 200 and 400. If you're not running these types of times, there's not much point because you're barely taking off any time. It'd be much wiser to use your time towards improving in areas that you can cut off seconds than instead of trying to focus on milliseconds. So this would be working on your form, doing plyometric, gym training, other stuff like that. Instead of doing your trying to work on your reaction time. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't work on it, which is why I'm making a video. To work on your reaction time, there's really only one thing you need to do, which is just drill it. Just drill training your reaction time a lot. You can drill your reaction time through a bunch of different things. If you do boxing, that's a great way to train your reaction time because you're essentially always in flow, so you have to be prepared to dodge a punch. But if you don't box, then the easiest way as a sprinter would be to actually practice reacting. And you can do this through various different ways. The easiest one would be without any blocks. Would literally just be to stand, head down, and then just when you hear someone like get someone to clap, because that's the closest towards actually hearing a gun go whilst you're sprinting. Reason being, when you hear words like go, your brain has to hear the word, understand what the word means, and then react to the word. If you hear a clap or a bang, you're just reacting to an audio stimulus. So you know you just need to move because you're used to hearing that stimulus when you're sprinting. You're used to hearing a bang. A clap isn't that too different. But essentially, I'm going to see if I can show. What you want to do is just have your legs like just close to you. Look down, but rest your entire body and rest your neck. Arms down beside you. Then you hear a clap. Then you split your arms. And if you really want to react and try and really work on the reaction, then you want to split your arms and jump as well. As long as you just keep doing that and trying to get better at that, your reaction time will improve. But obviously, this is like a basic way to train your reaction time because we're not so much after a faster reaction time as we are after a faster reaction time in the blocks. The split arms and jump is quite good because when you're coming out of the blocks, you're splitting your arms and you're not jumping, but you are moving with your feet, but your legs are straight. In the blocks, your legs aren't straight. They're bent. They're at 90 degrees and 120 degrees. So the best way to simulate that would be to actually do that repeatedly, which would mean you'll be doing a lot of reactive block starts again and again and again and again. You might not take that many steps, but the point is you want to get that first step out as fast as possible. If you really want to improve your reaction time, you have to get your body used to the position if it's not already used to it, and you just have to get your body used to reacting whilst in that position as fast as possible. Just like clicks. You want it to hear the gun and go, hear the gun and go. If you don't want any linger to be between the times, which is why you have a slower reaction time, you want to get rid of that and just want to just hear, sound and move, which is why it's quite easy for a lot of world-class sprinters to false start, because it's usually for two reasons. Either one, they're reacting to literally anything they hear. So like if someone was to say something to them, they just move just like that. Or they're trying to predict when the gun's gonna go. Obviously predicting when the guns go is technically not right, but if you can get it right, you're fine, because generally they're not gonna go on your marks, set, they're gonna go on your marks, set, slight linger, and then they're gonna go. So it's quite easy to predict it. If you watch a lot of races or you're in a lot of races, you're probably gonna notice this after a while as well. It's very rare when you hear on your marks, set, and nothing. What's generally gonna happen is everyone stand up, you're gonna hear clap, clap, or bang, bang instead, in which case, okay, that's purely because someone else messed up, or maybe it was you. I mean, either someone false started somehow, does happen, but like it's really usually like the tiniest margins where they've exceeded, or someone just did something they weren't supposed to, like MK Metcalf, I think his name was, no, DK Metcalf, I think. One of his races, he waved his hand to get everyone to stop, so he could. I don't know what happened, but yeah, he did that. Something like that might happen. But if you want to improve your reaction time, just make sure you're trying to actually improve it in the format of what you're going to need to do it in. Because, for example, being able to, whilst I did use boxing as an example, being able to react to a punch would help, but it's not as useful as being able to react to a gun and exploding out would be, because that's what you're actually training for. So training in that format would be a very good manner to train for, because now you are ready at all times to just sprint the second you hear that sound, or any sort of loud audio stimuli that doesn't involve any speech pattern. If you like my video, like the video, let me know in the comment section below. Check the description, because anything I forget to say in the video, I always put in the description. And if you like my content, subscribe. Helps the channel out a lot. I post every 2 days at 1 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. If you don't know when that is, just hit the bell and then you'll be notified instantly.